Well, if you catch a red snapper and you want to mount it and put it in a new room that you're redecorating, you might not want to mix it with pink walls and a green sofa. It just wouldn't work out. Sarah from Barrows joined us on Studio 10 for some tips on what it takes to properly redecorate a room. Have that room in your house or having a brand new house and you have that space, you want to know what to do with it or how to redecorate it? We've got some great tips for you today, thanks to Sarah from Barrows. What are we talking about today, Sarah?
Well, let's say we're taking on a big project and we're starting to redecorate, or we have a new house, like you said. It can get so overwhelming.
There's so many different colors and
elements,
woods and things to think about, yeah.
Well, today I would just like to share just some helpful tips to keep your thoughts, keep you focused, have everything organized.
Sure.
First of all, I always tell people, go through magazines and you see things that you like, colors, furniture, cut them out.
Right.
And start building you a little storyboard, so when you're out shopping, you can show that to somebody, say, hey, I'm looking for something like this.
It helps for the salesperson to visualize something, and it helps for you to organize your thoughts
and
they'll
help you, alleviate some of the stress.
Sure.
Okay, so next then, paint. Always try to have the paint that you're interested in.
Yes.
And you can, at your paint stores, you can get samples and carry them with you. Fabric swatches, it's always good if you're working with an existing piece.
Yes. Well, here's the deal. What we're talking about with the paint and the fabric swatches and these things, everything in the room needs to coordinate. Sometimes people will like one thing and say, hey, I love that, but it doesn't go with the other piece. So what you're talking about is it's good to have all these things together at the same time.
And a good way to kind of keep all that together is either by get you a notebook, and I have here a notebook with some of these little clear sheets, and you can room A, room B, or you can just kind of build you a storyboard, and so you can have those things when you go shopping. If you don't want to worry with a notebook, just get you a folder, an envelope, just something to put these pieces in to hang on to. Another good thing to have is a notebook so that you can jot down notes, places you've been. Those are so important. Measuring tape.
Yes.
Get you a little measuring tape. Now, our people always have them on them, but, if you just don't want to bother anybody, it's just good to have one in your
Well, that's a key element, too, because every room and the furniture you pick up should be determined by the room size.
It is, and what people don't realize is when they're in the store and they see something, the size of it is so different because you're looking at a store with no walls. You're looking at it in a sea of furniture. And you get home, you're going, wow, it didn't look that big in the store.
Yeah, wait a minute, we have no space left because this thing takes up the entire space.
So that's important. And if possible, if you're working with an area that has some tough spots, it's good to have a little drawing of your space.
Maybe a bay window or a corner spot where you want a piece spray.
And so when you're out looking, you say, when you're talking to the salesperson, I've got this little spot I got to work, and we can help, maneuver around that.
Right, so a lot of pre-planning goes into making your room, reorganizing it, or just decorating for the first time come out just perfect. Bring all the elements you can, definitely take notes, and be prepared. And that way, you'll wind up with a much better room at the end of your process.
Stress-free.
All right, thanks for those great tips today, Sarah.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, more information about Barrows, including a link to their website and all of their locations, is on our website, fox10tv.com. Just click on Studio 10. Coming up, we're headed back outside with the shed.